Hey everyone, this is a on-demand lesson for topic 7, problem solutions. It's going to be a brief video, actually, um, with a little bit of reading. Hopefully, you've downloaded the worksheet and other associated documents. Um, There should be a link also to the video that you have already seen. Um, but as a reminder, we will watch that video, and we're going to look basically at the differences between that video and what you are expected to do. As always, that videos or the videos in the course book are pretty good from a delivery perspective, but often the content of those videos are not so academic. So let's start watching the original video and just seeing how you could possibly make that video a little bit more academic. What's it missing? Okay, it's just watch and think. What is it missing? So I'm just going to share my screen. Hopefully you could see this, be able to hear it. How could you make this more academic?
Our planet is sick. The ice is melting in North and South Poles. There are rising sea levels around the world, and the coral reefs are dying in Australia. These are really big environmental problems. I'm sure many of us don't know what to do to help, but there is an environmental issue that we can all help to change. What is it? Plastic pollution. Plastic is used in almost everything we use. Grocery bags, pet bottles, and even the chairs you're sitting on. Did you know that 38 billion water bottles are wasted every year? And about 10% of all plastic in the world ends up in the oceans. This plastic is a danger to fish, whales, and seabirds. They eat this plastic and it fills their stomachs. Eventually, they die from starvation. This is a really big problem. Today, I want to tell you what we can do to solve the problem of plastic pollution. First, everyone needs to reduce the amount of plastic they use. Stop buying bottled water and carry a reusable bottle with you. When it is empty, fill it up from the nearest water tap in your school. Also, you don't need to use straws for your drinks. These are a waste. Instead, just drink directly from your cup or glass. Next, never use plastic grocery bags when you go to the supermarket. Bring reusable cloth bags to take your food home in. Finally, always try to follow the 3 R's of reduce, reuse, recycle. Our planet has many environmental problems, but we can all do something about plastic pollution. Let's start today. If we all use less plastic in our lives, we can help protect the environment.
Okay, so pretty good presentation. His delivery is nice. His pace is very nice, very clear, uses good hand gestures. And some of it is interesting. However, if you could now have a look at the alternative. Alternative, the document called the alternative presentation. I'll just share it on my screen. This one here, the alternative. So this one is a presentation for uh, three people. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our presentation. My name is Slim Shady, but you might be working in two people. It's okay. It doesn't matter, does it? So uh, the information is very similar. We were going to use slides. We may use these kind of very basic slides, but these slides would do the job for you. These would be perfectly acceptable. So that's how we start, isn't it? Our planet is sick. One of the major problems is plastic pollution. Everybody knows about this problem, but how big is it? How big is this problem? So, according to Statista, the Statista website, um, 300 billion PET bottles were produced globally in 2004. But what about 2021, just 17 years later? How many PET bottles do you think were produced? Do you think A, 350 billion, B, 480, 550, 580, 600 billion? How many do you think? What's your guess? Actually, the answer there is 580 billion. That means in just 17 years, there's been an increase of 1.6 times. And many of these bottles end up in the ocean. In fact, 80% of all plastic waste in the ocean, according to the World in Data website, 80% of it is plastic. Yes, that's quite a lot, isn't it? So today we're going to tell you how to solve this problem or how we might solve this problem, some of the solutions. First, we'll describe the problem, and after that, we'll go on and describe the solution itself. So it's a big problem you can see there, 80%. So why is it a problem? Let's have a look at the problem in more details. It's used in absolutely everything, grocery bags, PET bottles, even the chairs you are sitting on, maybe, I don't know. Mine's plastic. Uh, but according to National Geographic, 8 million tons, 8 million tons of plastic every year, according to National Geographic, comes from the land into the sea. This is a danger to fish, whales, and seabirds. They eat the plastic. It fills their stomach and eventually they die of starvation. It's a huge problem. 80% of that plastic, according to our World in Data, comes from Asia as well, which is a staggering amount. This is a problem because it becomes microplastics, which according to Lim, who works on the Nature website, writing on the Nature website, microplastics are anything 5 millimeters or lower. And these are not only consumed by animals, but eaten by people too. No one is really sure what the effect of microplastics is, but it is clearly going to be around for a long time and could be a big issue. Okay, so that concludes the examination of the size of the problem and why it's a problem. We're now going to look at the solutions. So there are individual solutions. So people can make a change with their behaviors, reduce the amount of plastic they use, stop buying bottled water, carry a reusable one instead. Find the nearest tap in your school and refill it. You don't need to use straws for your drinks. These are a waste. Instead, just drink directly from your cup or glass. Why not? Why do you need a straw? Usually you don't. And when you go shopping, never take a plastic grocery bag. Take a cloth one and take your shopping home in that. Secondly, there are companies that use too much plastic. They have a lot of responsibility. Business groups like the World Economic Forum suggest this as a solution. Target businesses, not just individuals. Not everything has to be made of plastic. Materials like bamboo that we will look at shortly can be used in a similar way. So here is a picture of some bamboo products, toothbrushes, kitchen utensils, or hemp as well. An alternative to plastic, just as good. And companies are changing over to alternative materials, and this would greatly reduce the plastic waste. So think about the products you buy. And finally, the cleanup option. There is an organization called the Great Ocean Cleanup that's starting to collect microplastics and plastics from large areas. It's a four-stage process. Firstly, they use modern technology to target the areas, drones, etc. Secondly, they capture everything in a huge net, but the nets capture the plastic. You can see the picture at the bottom, but enable the fish to escape so it doesn't harm the marine wildlife. And then the plastic is emptied onto ships and taken back to land to be recycled. So any help they can get from governments or organizations, companies that are responsible. There was a picture of Coca-Cola showing their responsibility. We think this would help as well. Okay, so in conclusion, the world has a huge plastic problem. We produce far too much plastic, and a lot of that plastic is going into our oceans. But we have provided a three-step solution. First, normal people should try to reduce how much plastic they use. Secondly, companies should reduce the amount of plastic and use alternative materials such as bamboo and hemp. Finally, there is a cleanup option as well. This needs to be supported in every way possible. Our planet has many, many environmental problems, but we can all do something about plastic pollution. People and companies use less plastic. We can help protect the environment. I'll be taking questions, and here are the references. Thank you very much for listening. I've been joined here by a little boy. You okay? Yeah, you sure? What do you think of plastic? Is it good for the planet or bad for the planet?
Bad for the planet.
Bad for the planet. That's right.